How's that held? That was just a disaster waiting to happen. Bucket and another bucket just to catch it. There's water pouring outside through this one. That's the magnet. What is that? So welcome back YouTube. I thought I'd try something a bit different for an episode this week. I just went into my diary, picked a random day. I thought, you know what? Whatever I do on that day, I'm just going to film it, put it together. Let's make it a typical day in the life of a plumber. I thought there'd be random jobs, but all we seemed to got was leaks, and more leaks, to be honest with you. But I hope the video helps you out. If you've got any questions, as always, drop in the comments. I'll always do my best to get back to you and help you out. Give the video a thumbs up if you find it interesting and you like it. What really helps me out is subscribers. Subscribing doesn't cost anything and it's free. So please subscribe, and it really helped me out. Let's take a look at a typical day in my life. First one I've got is a leak. Just underneath the rad there, you can see. Yeah, it's leaking on the elbow. Customers tried to tape it up. A load of towels around it and tubs and God knows what. You can see it's probably been leaking a while because, yeah, skirting board's knackered. But I think what I have to do is drain down. I'll just open up the valves so the customer turned them off, drain it down, get the radiator out of the way, make a hole. See what we can do with that. So I've got the drain down on. I haven't opened the vent yet, but you can hear the water getting sucked in. It's a bit fun. Might as well just open the vent. No, thanks, sorry. Open the vent and all the rads. Get all the water out. And what I'll do then is lock off the valves either side so I can just lift that radiator up and just get it out of the way. Then I can see what I'm working with. I've just been out to the van. Have I got any 8mm? No. No, why? Because I've just changed my vans and I forgot to put it back on. Just trip to the merchants, whichever's close to my house, all the merchants. That's going to help me up today. So disconnected, valve off. Let's lift that up and get it out of the way. Let the rabbit see the cabinet, see what we've got. I've just got the tape off. It's going to be a badly soldered joint on that. It's probably been in years now, so I'm just going to have to take some out of the wall and see if we can get onto the copper, see if we can put it through, cut it off and start again. Yeah, I need to get onto the pipe somehow, and it just goes behind here and I can't put it up or nothing, so I'm going to chop a section of the skirting out. So I can chop some more of this out, pull the pipe out and put a new connection on there. Just got the old multi-tool out, skirting board out the way. Wow, that is rough, man. It's just knackered, that is. But now I should be able to pull that forward, get the pipe out. Should have cut a bit more, shouldn't I? See if I can put it over. So we just switched blades to a metal, so I just cut that out just to get started. And it fell off. It's actually fallen off. Where's my bit of copper? There you are. That's what it was soldered to. You can see why they've done it, because they couldn't get it on far enough, could they? That's ridiculous. How's that held? That was just a disaster waiting to happen. But yeah, just going to file that off now. Just get an elbow just to get out the wall, get the radiator back on and connect back up the pipe. Right, so we've managed to bend a bit of 8mm, got it across going to there. That cup is exactly as right height for it to be straight. Heatproof mat behind there, and we'll solder it up. So yeah, I've got a set of mini benders. I've had these years, but it'll do different sizes, so let's get that soldered up. Excuse me. I ain't really bothered how it looks. What I want is no leaks. Plenty of solder in there. No, I mean plenty. So I'll just give that 5 minutes just to cool down. I don't really want to disturb it too much. But then we'll get the radiator back on and look at piping it up. Like I said, soldering, not the best in the world, you know, but I know I've put plenty on there, so it won't leak. So yeah, once the wall's been patched up, probably the skirting replaced, yeah, you won't see that anyway, 'cause it's going to be in the wall like that. So let's get the radiator back on and get it piped up. Now for the final connection, I don't really like these reducers. I have too many of them leak or crush the pipe, so I've got a 15 to 10mm stem elbow, 8 to 10, bit of 10mm, couple under there, connect it up, should look a lot better. There we go, 8 to 10mm reducer, straight off to there, then I can put that straight into the valve. It'll look loads. I think it'll look better anyway. What would you have done? Reconnecting that, or use another bullet reducer. I think it'll look better like that. So what I mean about them bullet reducers, I think someone's had problems sealing it, 'cause that looks like silicone to me. I've pulled that at the bottom of that nut. That's all soldered up now. It's going to be underneath the bed. You ain't going to see that. But you will see that going into the valve and connecting onto the 10mm barge. I think that's going to look absolutely sound. Right. That's jet lube. Just going to put nut and olive on. Bit of lube. Round the olive. Make sure you put it round the olive. There's no point just putting it on the pipe. So that's all round the olive. Up. And then we can tighten that on. Now you want to brace your valve, so I've got one of these. Rad wrench it's called. So just hook chain TLV like that. You can lever it. Compression spring there. Just get it started. Just get it started. Now I want to brace my valve. There we go, lovely and tight. All reconnected. I'll say this is the angle from the top. You couldn't see the pipe work anyway, but I say it looks like underneath. Reconnected that side, valve open, 3-point shut, skin fit up. There you go, all warmed up. You won't even know I've been. Just made the pot out of the way. So yeah, this was probably more likely going to replace the skirting, but you can just bomb a lot of fill in there, sand it down. Yeah, that's the best you can do with that. I mean, unless you're lying on the floor. You ain't seen that pipe anyway, am you? So, always, if you're soldering, test the your joints with heating. Because when it warms up, I have had a few that I've had slight weeks on. Yes, we will get leaks. So always test the heating now to temperature after I've soldered. Just put the heating on while you're packing away and, you know, tidying up, hoovering up. It'll heat up and, yeah, there we go. It's took me... It's 12 o'clock now. I started about 10:30, so about an hour and a half hour to get the bits in there. Yeah, not a bad job at all. It just looks scary on the outside because all you've seen is a little bit of pipe coming out the way. You think, chop the wall out. Walls can be repaired. Pipe more important. So there you go. Someone all done. You can see they've yeah, put a bucket and another bucket just to catch it. But you can see it's all leaking out of there. So. Water off and let's get to it. See how easy these I'm to undo. Hopefully, should be alright. It's moving. Dripping everywhere. We got it. Got it. I've got to move my phone now because it's leaking all over my phone. Cold's off, but the fill valve blocking that screw, so out you come. Oh, it's going to be fun. It just snapped off, so it's come loose now and we can get it out and see what's going on. So I think that was fine.
I think it was these, look. There's no bolt in that. I haven't touched that, there's no bolt in it. It's supposed to be a bolt like that, so yeah, I'm just going to renew the bolts, renew soft and renew field valve. It's one call out then and everything's done. So I'm just going to do the lot. New bolts through, new system in, we're going for a Viva. So yeah, that is ready now. Let's put back on there. Get the screws underneath. We have got to put down the washer on. We've got 2-inch one, 2-inch mark washer on there. And pop it back in. Yeah, down the washer on there. Lift this into place. So I'm not going into full detail because I have recently done a video on how to do all this. So it's like an episode or two back. So if you want to see how to do the toilet, just go and watch that. I have learned my lesson now from people that watch that one. I'm replacing the bolts because on the other one I didn't and they leaked. So knew everything in this one. So the only thing that's going to be original is the ceramic. Cold's all back on. Let's open this up. Live testing. Days. Seriously, look at that. Oh yeah, look at my scrubby van. Folded threads of mob spares. I use these for ages. To be fair, I've got nothing against them. I just prefer the bigger stuff now. But put that in. No leakage please, and we'll just make sure the fluff now. It was constantly pouring out there if you remember, so it'll be fine now. He says wait for that to fill up and give it a test. There you go, lid back on, button on, flush valve in, had a good tidy up, dried up all the floor, flushed it about 20 times. There you go, once all fixed, took about a year and a half, something like that. New bolts, new fill valve, new siphon, new everything. There you go. Job sorted. So next on the list is routine service on this Logic. But can anyone tell me what the freaking hell is that? Is that supposed to be a filter? I've never seen anything so crap in all my life. What's it filtering? Haven't we got a magnet on it? What's the betting not touch the isolation valve since it leaks? We'll find out, won't we? Is it supposed to open? Oh yeah. Ready? That's the magnet. What is that? Well, let's run some water through it. Honestly, I do not know what that's filtering. Turn it off. Do service of Logic. You want to check the sump. They are very prone to cracking these. So there might be some voice around here. All obvious signs at the bottom here, but this one looks in good condition. See the trap? We look underneath. There's minuscule in that, so normally if you want to take that trap out, you just disconnect that rubber, twisting out. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I know some people say you should clean it out. You're disturbing seals. There's a seal in there that seals it together. You just disturb it. What's the point for that? There's nothing in it. Absolutely bugger all. So we'll leave that as it is. However, the injector, we always take these out. Always take these out and give them a clean. So it's literally one clip, 2 screws, and that can come out. Screws off, clip disconnected. There you go. There's the injector. Bit of oil on that. We'll make that look like new. This is a fail point for these as well. If these get too clogged up, it can clog up in there, clog up the burner. To make sure you clean them. There we go. Just give that a good clean up with a bit of oil. Put it back together. And we'll run some tests on it, see how we're getting on. So the ideal Logic C30 to get into service mode, just press and hold preheat and restart together. It'll come up with the last 3 full coats on the boiler. And after that it'll give you the service options. Got high fire, you press preheat, you got low fire, and to select you press restart. Now I've clicked restart, that'll go into service low. Just test that now. I can't show you the readings because we're using TPI 710. I would stick it on the front, but it's plastic. Really good bit of kit that is. If you're just starting out, like, I'm pretty sure it's a 10 or 12 year warranty. TPI will give you that. But the sales reps are really good. The aftercare is really good. If you get it stolen, you provide a crime port, right? They'll actually give you a free one. Not many companies do that. Really good TPI. Well, I'm not paid by TPI to say that at all. I'm not. That's the other bloke, Dan. He gets paid by him. But I have to agree with him. They are good piece of equipment. They really am. Good on price, good warranty, good aftercare. So if I'm starting out, I've got an Anton as well. TPI gave me that to try. I have got my Anton, so I could choose between either. That one's been in my van now for 6 months. My Anton's out of calibration. Yeah, it is good. The only thing I do find is sometimes connecting to the app. If you flick between apps, you lose connection, but it takes like 5 seconds to reconnect. That's it. But I do like it. You know what I mean? Like, pull it like this, just stick it on the side, forget about it. Oh, it's a leaking bullcock in a fantastic loft. I mean, it's all boarded, and it's easy access to this. So I'm guessing it's going to be the big end, which is for your cylinder. Could be that one. It's definitely not that one. It's going to be this one. So what happened was there was water pouring outside through this one, but then it stopped. It's because he used that water, so I'm guessing it's going to be slowly. So get you out the way. This, oh my god, that is a big tank, ain't it? So yeah, let's go around that side and isolate it. So you don't need many tools for this. Blade screwdriver, you just pop it on the isolation, turn it off. Compression spanner will fit perfect onto there. Undo that back up there. That's where my grips come into play. These are my carbon ones, absolutely brilliant. And of course, the whole thing's going to bloody move. There we go. So you can just undo that nut like that, and it'll just pull off the connection there. And just basically get this one out of the way, and a new one in. Always get a new bulb with your cock. So we just screw that on, and you just tighten that up so it don't move up and down. And that's just going to feed through there, and there is a metal plate normally on these, so pop you on like that. Plastic nut which I dropped. Just going to tighten that back onto there. So now that's nice and tight. Just got to connect that back on. Compression spanner. Get it tightened. Play screwdriver on, check it works, check it shuts off. That's it. This is that. Bullcock's dead easy, especially when you can got all this space and everything. This is a dream one, absolute dream. Most of the time you're screwing about in a loft to get them, but this one, yeah, I'm standing up and plenty of access, so couldn't ask for more, could you? Now, on the isolation valve, I did bring up a washer, but that white, I thought it was PTFE, it wasn't. It was like a rubber washer. Absolutely banging, so I'll reuse that. It's rubber, it's fine. Trust me, it'll be fine. That's it. Bullcock all done. 10 minutes. Not a bad job. Not a bad job.